In this YouTube video, I'm going to show you how to set up Salesforce mobile phone notifications and Apple Watch notifications, and also how to set up reminders with Apex. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is just enable all the settings, and then you'll have to do this once, and then your Salesforce notifications will work from then on mobile. And also, I'll show you how to set up reminders right after that. So this right here is my phone on the right hand side of the screen. I'll show you the notifications happening on my phone when they actually happen, and I'll show you the reminder that I get set. But for now, I'm just going to go into the settings. So I'm in Salesforce, and I made a hospital app, which I described in my other videos. And what's cool is like the charts and stuff, like report live. I'll show you that like after I show you how to set up everything. So go to settings, advanced user details, and over here you're just going to go to edit, and you're going to scroll down and just make sure your standard time is whatever standard time you want it to be. Press save because we're going to be working with time. And then you go to activity settings or activity reminders, and you click that. And for this, just make sure these are all checked. And you can set like a standard time too, if you don't want it to be, like if you want it to be 12 or whatever, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to be using that time anyway. And then, yeah, so basically press save after you do that. And then you're going to go over to setup, object manager, and on your task, so on your task object, you go here and you go to page layouts, task layout, and over here in task detail, you see how I have reminder set. Just drag that down from wherever it is up here, and you just drag it and put it here. And basically, so that makes it so when you're making a task, and then click save right here, that makes it so when you go to tasks and you press new task, it has this reminder set boolean automatically checked. So basically, that's we're going to use that in the process builder later. So you click save after adjusting this page layout to have reminder set down here. You just drag it from up there. And now I'm just going to show you like a few mobile things on your mobile phone that you need to do in order to enable all the notifications. So I'm just going to bring up my mobile phone right now, and I'm going to show you some settings that you need to enable. So in your Salesforce, just go over to your name, and then click you click your profile at the top left, and you go to settings, push notification settings, and you select task assignments down here and custom notifications here. So it looks like post to a group is available too, but I don't use that. So now you press back, and what you do next is you go to, let me see, you go over to the settings on your phone. So now you go over to settings, you know, with the gear, you go to this gear, and basically go to notifications, and you scroll down to Salesforce, which is right there, and you check allow notifications, you check sounds, and banner style you can make temporary or persistent, and show previews always. And then you scroll to the top, and you can show the previews when the phone is unlocked, or always, or never. And there's also something called announce messages with Siri, in which Siri reads text messages to you. So text messages that you get, you could have Siri read them to you. In my cell phone text video, VBA XL, I have Siri read me text messages. And yeah, but basically you just had to enable Salesforce notifications on your phone. So now you just need to download the Salesforce mobile app, and if you already downloaded it and you didn't verify your phone the first time you did it, just hold down, like click and hold down the app and then select remove app, and then just install it again and verify your phone and set up all those settings I just showed you, because you just need to have a verified phone number after you log in. And let's see, it prompts you the first time you log in. And now, I mean, let me think. You go to, on your screen, you go to setup and notification delivery settings. And you click here twice, and basically up here where it says activities, so it tells you task reminders isn't on mobile, but I'll show you how to do mobile. It is available, and all you have to do is just follow this video. And then over here you basically click custom notifications, and you select new right here, and you type in custom notifications 3, and you click mobile and click save, and then you go back to here and you refresh. So under notification delivery settings, you click edit and you say Salesforce for iOS and mobile, save, and refresh. So now actually if you open up your app again, what's pretty cool is if you click on your profile and you go to settings, push notification settings. So now I have custom notifications 3 over here, so you could enable all the custom notifications, because we use these in Process Builder to send the phone notifications to you. So you enable them in your app after you create them here. So now that I did that, you basically just need to, obviously you enabled it for Salesforce for iOS. So now I'm just going to show you how to do the Apex code for this, because you're going to need Apex code. So under setup, you go to feed items, or maybe feed item. Yeah, you go to feed item. Oh, it's a one word, feed item. So you go to feed item triggers, and you select new right here and press, I'm just going to press edit. So you basically are going to paste this in here, and how this works is after a feed item is created on Chatter, so I'm going to go over to my Salesforce and I'm going to type in Chatter, because that is how, like, the social media of Salesforce. And so over here in Chatter, basically create streams and groups, which I'll show you in Salesforce for Dummies Part 1. And we're going to create a group also in this. So yeah, I guess first I'm going to create a group, and then, so here I'm just going to call this group like group 1 of people, and access, I'm going to make it public so everyone could join it. They could request to join it, and I'm going to press next, and you could add certain people to it. So I'm going to add test user to it, press done. So this is my group, and now that I did that, I'm just going to go back to Chatter, and basically this right here is a feed item. So every time after a feed item gets posted, I want this, after the feed item gets posted, to basically create a new new invoices. And let me just put this on this line, whatever. And then So basically it loops and it creates a new custom object. So I have a custom object over here. Go to setup and object manager. On my website I go over all the custom objects, but here's finished task and fields and relationships. So basically I create on the finished task I have something called first invoice, which I add to the new invoices, and I'm like new invoices is right here, and it uses list, which is explained in Apex programming, whatever. So basically you could add in like however many invoices you want to add, and it just adds one in. And basically like for assign to _ C, that's this column, and t.InsertedById. So InsertedById is, there's this website right here, so this has like InsertedById, like, so these are all the different, what are these things called? I guess these are like the fields that are associated with the chatter feed. So InsertedById is a reference, filter, group, or sort. So yeah, so I'm going to go back to this Apex trigger. So that's where I got that from. And basically I take the column name and I do string, which translates the Datetime.now, which returns the time in format hh.mm or :mm, so it's hours and minutes. But if you do :ss, you could do seconds also. And basically I format it as a string instead of a date, and the date is hour, minute, and that's a single quote there. And then I have a plus here because it concatenates, and then I have a single quote here, a space, and then AM, and then another single quote. So basically I add the invoice, and in this custom field, which is just the text field, I add in t. So FeedItem is a variable t up here, and the t appears over here when we have like the InsertedById, which gives us like the username. So this assign to over here on finished task, let me pull finished task up. So assign to, this is basically the username. And if you read through my Salesforce hospital thing on my website, vba8tutorialcode.com, I show you how to translate this ID into an actual username, but you don't need to worry about that. So basically t.InsertedById just puts the username there, and then as like the ID, the unique ID for that username, like this is my username up here, Dev Nolan, and my ID is the ID that was put there because I created the task. So I have it set. This process that we create is you basically create a task, and if it sets the reminder, then it posts to chatter with the time that you want for the reminder, and then chatter posts to the finished task page. So it posts here, and it checks the time that the chatter has versus your reminder time, and if it doesn't match, then it posts back to chatter, and then it just keeps posting from this object to chatter back and forth until the times match, and then when the times do match, it reminds you. So basically over here, t.body, so .body is the feed of your chatter. So let me go back to chatter. So basically this is the body of the chatter feed item, and so basically I make this field equal to that. So under finished tasks, under subject, I make this equal to the body of the feed item. And basically, if the feed task name, which is name, so if the Datetime.now equals whatever the body is of the chatter item that you type when you create the task, then well, obviously it's not. Now it just does invoices.add and first invoice, and it inserts the invoices. So this just this Apex trigger on the chatter feed, it basically just it creates this record on the finished tasks, and it posts right here in column 1. It posts the time that you entered when you create a task, and then it posts your username ID, and then it posts who you assigned it to, and it posts the date time now of your Apex trigger within chatter. So yeah, now that I showed you this, you basically click save, and you just have to make sure you have like all the right columns and stuff. So basically this is just the name of the trigger, and you have to use an after insert for the event, and you basically do it on feed item. You need on feed item, and over here you need feed item again, and basically finish task _ C is the name of my custom object, finish task. So go to object manager, I have finish task is right here, that's the name of it, and then first invoice is just a variable, so you could use that. And then new finish task _ C is, you keep new there, and then for finish task, that's just from this object right here. So this is the object again, so whatever you name your object. And then first invoice, you basically keep that as is, it doesn't matter, just keep first invoice as first invoice. And then dot assign to _ C, make that the column, so assign to _ C, make that a column like this, a text column. And then t, just that's the variable for the feed item, .InsertedById, leave that as is. And then firstInvoice.Name, so .name is this column, which is already created automatically, so you don't create that in your custom objects. And then you use this, definitely, or however you want it formatted. You don't need a space if you don't want a space when you're gonna create your reminder. And then so this is basically, I'll show you this field right now, because I mean, yeah, so I'll go to tasks, which is over here. So I'm going to go to tasks, and I'm going to press new task. So I made I have all these like lookup fields for like assignments and stuff, and then obviously reminder set gets automatically set. But I created this one text field that basically you just write in whatever time you want. So like 03, 10, and then space AM. So basically that's how you do it, and then you can do it on mobile too, which I'll show you. And then it'll actually set the reminder. And I'm going to show you the process builder for it first. But basically, you click save here, and now that's basically done. And just a simple text field that you create on your task. So basically, you don't go to task for the task object, you go over to your activity object, fields and relationships, and then here's mine. It's you can name whatever you want, but you press new, and it's just a text field, and you could name it like 7 characters, like 12:12 space AM, basically however you you do it in here. And basically once you create that column, you reference it in the process builder. Let's see, now I'm going to go to the process builder. You double click here. So I'm just going to walk through each of them. Just do like stage 1, which is, I guess, a test if the reminder is set. And do this when a record changes. Click save. And for add object, you select task, which is a standard object, and do when a record is created or edited. Save. Add criteria, and for criteria name, doesn't matter, just type whatever you want here, and then select conditions are met, and task is reminder set. So reminder set equals boolean true, and then all of the conditions are true. Click save, and then click add action and select post to chatter, and the action name is, let's just say reminder, doesn't matter what you write there, and then you just post to a chatter group, and right here is where you can find like the groups that you created before. So mine is, here's like the group 1 of people that we made before, but you got the group for the reminders, and then basically for the message you click merge field, and you click down here and you go to reminder time. So this you click activate here. For finish task, basically I have a name, which is a standard text field, and subject, which is a standard whatever field, text field. So those are just the two to set up, and you click process. So for this one, it's just going to be called, I guess, like stage 2, and this one will be check if finish task matches chatter apex trigger, and do it when a record changes. So for the add object, you add a finish task, and do only when a record changes. Click add criteria, and for this, doesn't matter, and for conditions are met, you select finish task name, choose that equals field reference, and finish task subject, choose. So for finish task, basically I have a name, which is a standard text field, and subject, which is a standard whatever field, text field. So those are just the two fields that I check, and I press save. And then for the action, you do custom notifications. So this will be, I guess, the one that actually matters if it's true. So you select your custom notifications, you select the user and user field from a record, and basically finish task created by ID, and do user ID, choose. So if the finished task name ends up equaling this the subject. So if let me go over to my finished tasks. So if the time equals the time over here, we go back to the process builder. So if that equals that, then send custom notification, user, I have to select all that stuff again. User field from a record, create by ID and user ID. So basically what I want is the finished task underscore subject. So I want subject, and then you could just like type whatever task you want here. So reminder, and then down here I want the same thing. I'm just gonna copy that and paste that, and then so you click save here, and you click activate, because basically in this Apex trigger, the subject is equal to the body of the chatter thing, and the body of the chatter thing is equal to this task over here. So whenever you enter, whatever you enter here, so I enter in like 02, 05, space, AM, and then so this is what gets posted to the chatter feed item, and then that chatter feed item gets read through here, and the subject field in the finished tasks gets equals that task, that 02, 05 AM, and then this time over here is taken from chatter at the time that chatter is testing if the new feed item equals the value of the Datetime.now, because in your trigger it inputs the date time and it has the single space and then the AM, so that just pulls the time when it's checking if it matches to like this time that gets put into the first name column is just from that datetime formula while this trigger runs. And if this doesn't match this notification that we're setting up in this process builder right now, so this reminder won't actually send, but you click activate here, and if it ends up being true, if the name field does equal the subject field, if the chatter Datetime.now ends up equaling the reminder time that you enter when you create a new task, it will send you the notification. So that's the second process builder. So you click activate up there, right here, and now you go to the process builder again and you press new, and let's do stage 3, and if not match, and basically for this one you do when a record changes, click save, add object, and do finish task, only when a record is created, type whatever here, and say finish task name, equals field reference and subject. So if the first column equals the fourth column, if the chatter Datetime.now equals the task value reminder time, then actually click back, does not equal, and then field reference and subject, choose save. So if it doesn't equal, what you want to happen is you want to post back to chatter, because being that the times don't equal, you want to post back to chatter, and then this Apex trigger will run again, and then it'll post another record over here, and it'll keep doing this until this date time equals that, in which case it'll run the second process builder we did, and it'll send the reminder to you. So where was that? Oh. So post a chatter group, you select your group again, and just post the subject again, click choose, click save, and then click activate. So now you're all set up. So basically I'm just going to demonstrate this right now on my phone. Apex trigger, make sure you click save, and obviously you don't have the Apex trigger open, so you're going to press new task, and you just are going to select like a few different fields, and you go like type in like the name of the field, and it'll show different search results if there are a lot. And I'm going to click. You could have less fields obviously, but I just have a lot because I was doing those reports, which I'll walk through. So I'm going to do 03:29 a.m. and I'm going to click save. So right now what it's doing is it's posting to chatter, and then it is going back from chatter to that field, and then it's checking the time, and if the time isn't 3:29 a.m. then it posts back to chatter, and it keeps doing that until the time matches, and then it'll send me a reminder on my phone. Even if I'm in like another app, I'll just go over here and I'll just scroll through like Word and my notes, and at 3:29, oh, there's my reminder. I just closed out of it, like I was switching apps while that happened. So yeah, obviously that worked, and you can see it up here on my screen too. My phone's connected to my computer, so you can see the notification up there too. And yeah, so basically that's how you set up a reminder in Salesforce. And if you want to be able to set the particular profiles to be able to edit tasks, you go to Setup, Users, Profiles, and it has the next page here if you're in the developer trial. And basically you go to System Administrator, you click Edit. I'm a System Administrator, and you just search Task, and then you just scroll down here to Edit Tasks, and you check that box, and that lets you edit tasks. And you can set up the custom object permissions and whether you can edit, modify anything, and then you click save, and that's how you can do that for particular users, and you click cancel. So thank you